upon a time, real long ago, when you went to the jam and enjoyed the show. The rhymes were fresh and the beats had soul. MCs had class to rock chants that go. Yes, yes, y'all. And it don't stop from the bottom all the way up to the top. We're here, in case you forgot. With double trouble, bubbling high. Hey, yo, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Ready, rock steady. Definitely.
Tyler Gibney, designer, Heavyweight Production House.
Right through the end of the week, two fly brothers.
And if there's gonna be a wicked 3D abstract maple leaf, there should maybe also be like little fleur-de-lis flying around.
I played in a band for a long time, so I was always heavily influenced by music. And then when I decided to go to art school, you know, for my band, I was always doing like big posters and things like that.
Gene Pendon, painter, Heavyweight Production House. My father was a painter and a calligrapher, and don't really remember it when I didn't draw.
What color is that? Sexy? More sexy. Black is always sexy.
Once upon a time, real long ago, when you went to the jam and enjoyed the show.
Dan Buller, painter, graphic artist, heavyweight art installation.
And it don't stop from the bottom all the way up to the top.
Graffiti and I had just broken up, and the emotional. When I met live painting, we got along really well. You know, we had a certain kind of chemistry. We decided to just go with it, and we're still going strong.
Heavyweight came together in 1998 in Montreal, Canada, after I had a loft space, and then I met with these guys, saw the talent, and asked them to come with me and start a collective.
It was just, all of us were just working on our own, and we all had some common interests, and so we decided to get together and try to do something fun with it, and have some parties, and pay rent in the studio, and do some independent work.
So we just shared resources and kind of shared, you know, like a spirit for creating something. And something new that really didn't exist in the city.
Back in Montreal, I was working a lot with music promoters doing the, you know, graphic design and flyers, everything like that, posters. And originally, Victor Schiffman was producing an event for the Jazz Festival, Montreal Jazz Festival, and there was the DJ, and they wanted some sort of visual element. So I proposed it to Victor that we get in there and paint, but instead of it being, before a lot of the painting, the compositions were really loose and it would just be all over the place. My vision with it was to have a more concise piece, so it looked like a whole piece. So we came up with a little idea, like a composition, and then everyone worked on certain sections of the piece. And right from the get-go, it just came together perfect. Like, it was one of those things that, yes, it was planned out, but also it just happened. And so we did it for 8 days straight.
And it took off. We did a really good job, and people responded. And so it just evolved from there.
The live painting really thrust us into, you know, having to perform in front of, you know, live audiences, and through that, over and over, we developed a technique and a process and a certain dynamic.
We all know our strengths and weaknesses, and we work, you know, like a band. We would take, you know, certain elements from old compositions, Malik Sibide, or, you know, even Muhammad Ali, something like that, and kind of recontextualize them, like same as hip hop sampling.
There's a dialogue that's between us that's creative. We know each other's moves and how we like to think in terms of, you know, creating images.
There is a cohesive, and our pieces look very much like they're created by one as opposed to three separate entities. The idea behind it was to take music and try and, you know, do that visually in the same scenario, like a jazz standard or something, where there was an idea, there's an initial composition behind it, but then we all got to, you know, take that to the next level and improvise, and then feeding off the live energy.
this is what, you know, musicians must feel on stage. They get energy fed to them from the crowd, and that feeds the work that you're doing, you know, the creative process. Like, it's a real thing, it works, and I never experienced that before, and so it's enjoyable, and it makes the work better, I think.
The music is energy, and it's part of the room, and it's part of what keeps us you know, working spontaneously and not second guessing our brush strokes, and you compress the experience of painting. You know, you compress the time and you compress the energy so that you're just expressing for the moment.
Working with Gene and Dan for so long, like watching them perform, it's almost like a sense of meditation where they almost go into a state where Gene just gets into like kind of trance and just goes with it, and Dan just, you know, he's just focused on what he has to do, and you know, I think people enjoy watching that process, and I mean I enjoy watching that process.
Doing it live in front of people, the audience will kind of invest in the creation when they watch, when they see and experience the process in front of them. I get the sense that a lot of them, you know, they're grateful for actually seeing how a painting came together and somehow invest in the experience.
The reason why we're doing a show called Political Minded is because it's hard not to be right now. Whether or not you're an American, it doesn't matter where you live in the world, it's impossible to be unaware or to have no opinion on what's happening right now politically in the world.
Like this was a couple of years ago, you know, the discussions just went more and more into this direction of political nature. And so we responded to it and looked for an outlet.
As artists, you know, we express ourselves. We express what's in our minds and, you know, in our thoughts. And right now, that's what's in there. And so it's coming out. It's streaming out through our pores.
And also we wanted to continue, you know, progress, take on different challenges. Where we're kind of taking over these spots like this was, you know, abandoned storefront here, and you know, we take it over, we sleep here for 4 days, paint our asses off, and then have an opening. It's open for 4 days and then it's destroyed. You know, that kind of idea of more the process as opposed to the sense of ownership. It's more about the you know, knowing it's not a tangible thing that anyone can own. It's more just like
being there. You know?
Being there.
You gotta be there.
And it being a cultural experience.
You got to be part of the discussion.
Yeah. I think we just have a good rapport with each other that allows us to stay together, even though now we live in a separate city.
Heavyweight still exists as as the name that we work collectively under. We can pursue our own thing.
We're all working all the time. And then when we come together, we sort of bring that, you know, that knowledge, that you know, that new knowledge together, and then we get together as the three of us, and then when it's the three of us, we think differently and, you know, challenge each other and, you know, approach problems differently.
It's allowed us to grow independently as artists and also bring more when collectively we get together.
And now there's nothing that really stops us. Like distance doesn't stop us.